Hello everyone, welcome to Learn C++ for Competitive Program course brought to you by CodeChef RCOEM Chapter. Our chapter is on a mission to produce 50 5-star coders by the end of 2025, and this video is an effort for the same. So hello guys, I Akshit Bobde, member of competitive programming team, welcome you on the first video of this course, that is basic syntax of C++ program and about variables. So moving on to the screen directly without wasting any time. Here you can see hashtag include IOStream. So this is basically a header file which imports functions for input and output, not only input and output, but for various other things. So I will just write here that it is the file for various functions. Okay. Now we come to the next line, which is using namespace std. So it is a declarative region for scope for identifiers. So what it literally means that uh, it is a declarative region for using identify the functions. So you will study this further on the duration of course. Okay, so don't worry. So this is a declarative region. Okay. Now you might be wondering what I'm doing. So basically these are comments. Okay. So if you put double slash, these are not compiled and interpreted by the compiler. These are just for our general purpose. Okay. Now coming to the main function. So what is main? So basically main is a function which has a return type of int. So basically this function is returning an integer. Okay. So here you can see it is returning 0. Okay. So this is a very simple and basic C++ program. Okay. Need not to worry. Yeah, so main is basically entry point of any C++ program. Okay, so wherever you write hundreds or thousands of functions, it doesn't matter, but the entry of the C++ program will be through main only. Okay, now this is a cout. If you had studied C, it might be, you think it will be quite easy because as it is printf in C, it is just cout in C++. So basically it just print in the terminal what is we have written. So I just run this program. So you can see it is printing hello world. Okay. So I think you have understood the basic structure of C++ program. So I will just write here. This prints something. What is that? Better understand this prints hello world. Okay, so you have understood cout function. Okay, so now we will talk about variables. Okay, so what are variables? Variables are nothing but containers to store data. Okay, so we use variables for storing any type of data. So data can be integer, character, string, float. There are various data types. So basic data types are integer, float, character. Okay, so that will study duration of course. So if I declare an integer, let's say x. So let's say I'm declaring an integer x. So this is only declaration. Okay, memory is not been allocated. It is just a declaration. Now I'm assigning x as value as let's say 5. Okay. So now in the container x, the 5 value is being stored. Okay, so the variable is storing the value x, and we can know that by printing it out. So let's say I'm writing cout the value of variable is. Here we will write x. So what it is printing? It is printing value of x. So let us run this program. Let's see what happens. So now you can see here the value of variable is 5. So what x is storing? It is just printing out in output terminal that the x is storing a value 5. Now rather than int, okay, you can store float value. So just comment this out. Okay. Now let's say I'm storing a float value. So float is nothing but a decimal value. Okay? Let's say 3.4. So let's say what it is doing here. I'm sorry, forgotten the semicolon. These are just silly errors. Yeah. Okay. So now you can see in the output terminal, it is printing 3.4, which is float value. Okay. So basically, these are simple variables, and this is a cout function. You have studied till now. Now let's say if I want to take as input, I'm not hard coding it. I want to give some number to the variable x. So let's say again commenting out. So comments are not interpreted by compiler. Okay. These are just for understanding purpose for the kind of information. Okay. So let's say I'm declaring an integer integer x. Okay, and I want to input it, so I will do cout, enter the value of x. Okay, now I will do cin, so I will be inputting the value of x. Okay, now I'm again printing the value. Basically slash n what does it, moves the cursor to next line, nothing more than that. Okay, so not to worry. And cout, so value is okay. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, so see, now he is asking an value that enter the value of x. So let's say I'm typing 7, and as you can see, the value of x is 7. So this is what we are going to learn this in video. See, I'm using online C compiler. You can anyway use any ID. I have some IDs like Geeks for Geek ID, Reddit ID, okay, VS Code, whatever you want. It actually doesn't matter what ID, I'm sorry, what ID you are using. So I will demonstrate this same thing on a Geek for Geek ID. Let's say here it is already doing cout GFG. So let's just run this and see what happens. Yeah, GFG has been outputted. Same. If I again, let's say I'm again declaring an integer x, again assigning value, some value as let's say 7. So value of x is okay. Let's see what happens. Now you can see we have put it given x value as 7, so it is printing value of x is 7. So hope guys you have liked this video on basic structure and using of variables in C++. Thank you for watching the video and all the best. Thank you.